that is your 50 to 54 head. Then we move up into our 55 and 6 heads over here. And then we got a couple variations of that. We have the very oddball 6-bolt pattern, and then you got the regular 12-bolt. So they left out the holes, or 4. What do you got? No, these are 8. Yeah. Oh, hold on. That can be 8. 2, 4, 6. These are 6 here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I thought it was 12. So they took out half the holes. So oh, they took out ones in here too. Okay, I'm trying to figure. I knew they had the corners missing, but yeah, these center ones are gone too. See, we got holes here. So what they did was, when they came out with this 55 head, I thought they did this in 49 or 48, but obviously it's on the 55 casting. So here's your 55 head. It's an O-ring head factory, first year of it, and basically it's the same head, just machined differently, because it has the same casting shape as the 50 head. They all look the same. It's a different head, but this head here is the same. So you look at this head, and you look at this head, it's the same. It's the same thing. Look how it's cut through here. So you get the little thin cut right here. See a little thin cut there. So you got the gap right up here. So you got the gap right here. It's all the same. So this is the same mold as all these early heads, except they didn't machine it out for the big hole in here. They just left it out here. So other than that, it's the same head. So this is your 55 casting. So they're all the same thing. This one blew a head gasket into the oil gallery, and then finally blew it the rest of the way through. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, back again. Yeah, you'd think at 10 o'clock at night you wouldn't get too many interruptions, but oh well. Okay, so this had a blown head gasket. They kept driving it until it got worse. So finally it blew a hole completely through the head. And then maybe they decided it was time to slow it down, because now they have a big ass problem. But anyway, that can just be welded up and redone, no biggie. So anyway, these are this is that oddball head. So it's got a 8-4 code right there. So these are early 55, they ran these heads. And then later in 55 they went to this head, which has all the holes in it. Plus a lot of times Harley drilled the holes in here to make it into a regular head again too. So these have the, actually they went to a O-ring style intake manifold setup. And other than that, it looks just like the early head. So nothing really else changed about it. Now, this here is they came out with the sticker D-ring here, and that's why they figured they needed so many bolts. And this is the factory cover that does not have the holes drilled on it, see? Matches the cover. Now the D-ring they would have had would also had no holes in it. This I think is an aftermarket one, but anyway, so they went to the style here, and that's why they eliminated these holes, because they figured there'd be enough here, two right there. You know, they basically did every other hole is what they did. They didn't figure they needed it, and they were wrong. You needed it. Okay. Here's another head, same thing. It's got the same 4E code on it, so there must be an E mold on this thing. Yep, there it is off the side, another E mold. Seems like all this E stuff is oddball. So, there you go. So they made some changes on them. And like all these things, they crack a little bit. It's common. This has a lot of corrosion in it. Seats are nice and high. That one's sunk a little bit. This is good high. But anyway, that's what they look like. This one has a repaired spigot on it. Once again, they are what they are. Okay, and here's another 55 head. This one's got a 9.9 on it. This is when I weld the exhaust spigot up to do repair work. That's how I fix them. That's hard welding rod, so after you're done, it's really hard material. It doesn't wear very much, very strong, and it'll stop a lot of the wear issues. So this is one I did a lot of work on. Here's some fin repair over here I did. I think this one has some fin repair on the other side too. Yeah, a few little nicks in there from other things. It's still a 4-fin head. We got 4 fins on the plug hole there. So, but that's what they look like for welding. I just machine them from there. Alright, so that is your 55 head. Then we move into our 56 heads. That's these ones. So these are, this one has no date code on it. This one had a 10.5, this one had a 6.6. Or a 9.9, depending on which side it was. Once again, these are small fin heads. What they did was they took the 55 and they blotted it out. Now this one's been welded, so it's kind of a bad example. They went to like this in the mold. They just scribed a new number in the mold. So instead of having a, no, it's screwed up. Instead of having a 55 like that on there, they went in there and they scrubbed that out and they put a 6 on it and used the same mold as that one. So once again, there's no changes on these heads from all these different years. It's all the same molds. And they ran this head up through mid 57 for sure. Somewhere in by 58 they went to the next casting, which is totally different. So these ones here, they look the same. Everything looks pretty much the same on how these things are made. You know, typical deal, you got bad exhaust spigot, still a usable exhaust spigot from Harley, and then you got a weld-on aftermarket piece of crap on there. You know, it's common. This star here is coming loose. You can see it sticking up. You can see a bit of a gap in here. So that star is coming loose. See how this one's nice and shiny and at surface? That's a good one. Also, these holes are not chamfered yet. They're still sharp edged. So you can tell early heads from later heads by how things are made. This one here had a lot of rust in the threads too. That's pretty bad. So anyway, like I said, the cracking you can get from high heat, and overheating the motor does that, and detonation does that. That's what makes cracking. So not all your heads are cracked, see. It does happen. Very frequent though. So anyway, there you go. So you got the 56 is the next one in line, and basically these are identical to the 55 head except for that deal there. Now the difference on that early one of these heads, I had a difference I was reading through here. Yeah, I forget what it was. I was trying to find a difference between a 56 and a 55 head, and it was the height of the fin on one side was different, slightly, not much, like almost nothing. See, that was the height of the scale. See, this one is also, so this one's the same. Yet you get over here, see how this one's not? This fin's taller. So this is a 56 casting. So this is probably a 55 head, I'm guessing, because it's full scale height. See, just like this one. And this one, the 56 casting, is a little bit taller, but we're talking only 50 thousandths difference here. And this has been modified a lot, so I'm not even guaranteed what that is. And that could just be a casting variation. But that's the only thing I saw that was different. And it wasn't much, because basically they're identical. And porting is, what Harley does on their ports is they modify the depth that they're cut in here for different years, how they're machined.